Welcome to Susmita's Voice. The Midnight Visitor is today's story. What is more important in life, intelligence or smartness? Can we seriously answer? Just answering this question and moving on? No, we need supporting data and a fruitful argument for this type of a question. What is the character sketch of a secret agent? He or she has to fall in space provided by the society. Here, we are going to reveal what makes Ozable a successful agent, a secret agent. The story in a nutshell. The story here is about a secret agent, Ozable, who has spent an evening with the writer named Fowler, who had accepted that as he would be meeting a secret agent, he would be looking into a lot of adventure. But instead, he rather gets bored when he meets Ozable, as the things that happened were exactly the opposite of what he had imagined. How Ozable gets rid of his unexpected guest proves his expertise as a secret agent and leaves the reader and the writer in the story awestruck. About the author. Robert J. Arthur Jr. was a writer of speculative fictions known majorly for his work with The Mysterious Traveler, a radio series, and for writing The Three Investigators, a series of young adult novels. Arthur had honored twice by the Mystery Writers of America with an Edgar Award for Best Radio Drama. The plot of the story. The story is mainly about a witty secret agent named Ozable. He was with a writer named Fowler throughout the evening as Fowler was interested in spending time with a secret agent. But when he spends time with Ozable, he realizes that he is exactly the opposite of what he had imagined and that he was a bore. Ozable then told Fowler that he had been thinking wrong and that soon he would be looking at a report that would change the country's future. Then Ozable takes Fowler to his room, and when they entered the room, a guy with a gun named Max was standing in the room. He asked them to be comfortable until the reports about the missiles arrived in 30 minutes, as he was there to steal the reports. This was the first adventure out of many that Fowler had expected when he had thought of meeting a secret agent. While they were talking, Osborne started with a story about how a guy had entered from the balcony last month below his room. While his talk was going on, a sudden knock was heard at the door. Osborne said that it must be the police as he wanted them to check on him after some time because he wanted to make the reports that were coming in extra secure. Max, pointing his gun towards them, said that he would be waiting in the balcony and that Ozable should send away the police, otherwise he would shoot them and even take the risk of being caught by the police. As the doorknob is turned, Max jumps out of the window and a loud scream is heard. The door opens and a waiter comes in and says that he has brought the wine that Mr. Ozable had ordered. He keeps the bottle tray and glasses on the table and leaves. Fowler is surprised and asks him about the police, to which Ozable replied that there was no police. Then Fowler asked, "What about the person who was waiting in the balcony outside the window?" To which Ozable replied that the person would not return and that there was no balcony there. This shows the quick wit of Ozable as he took advantage of the situation and made Max nervous, due to which he jumped out of the window without thinking and looking down. He had jumped from the top floor of a hotel and would have possibly died. This is how Ozable outwitted Max and saved himself from a dangerous situation. The theme of the story. What is more powerful, a strong and beautiful physique or a smart and witty mind, is the main theme of the story. The central idea of this lesson is based on the type of wit and intelligence that is possessed by Ozable and what made him a successful secret agent. The theme also talks about one being a writer, coming with a generalized idea of how a secret agent should look like and what they must attract. The characterization. Here in this story, there are three characters: Ozable, Fowler, and Max. Ozable is an interesting character. He is the central character of the story. He's a secret agent, is unlike other agents of anyone's wonder. He is a very fat man. He is not at all smart and physically tough. There is nothing mysterious or romantic about him at all. He is an American and he has come to Paris 20 years ago. He speaks French and German with an American accent. He is a very factual person. He though never loosens his presence of mind. He shows complete balance of mind. He knows how to take advantage of a situation. As at last seen, he outmarks Max with his intelligence. Oswald was a detective in Paris who was fat and sloppy and hardly looked like a secret agent. When Oswald switched on the light, he found Max standing with a pistol in his hand in the room, and Max had come to take a particularly important report concerning missiles forcibly from Oswald. And there is where the wit walks in. And Oswald cooked up a false story to entrap crafty Max. He took Max around and told that the balcony below his window had become a big nuisance. It was the second time in a month that somebody got into his room through the balcony. He also made Max panicky by telling him that the knocking at the door were of the police, whom he had already informed. He did not give the opponent to think much, and that made him outwit the situation and be an agent of his own type and style. Fowler was a young and romantic writer in this story. He is also a visitor to Oswald. He had come to experience being with a secret agent and what type of thrilling life they might be leading. Fowler is a daydreamer and has much belief in stories or movies. He had anticipated that all the secret agents might be very handsome, beautiful, brave, and strong. He wished only to meet a person of his own imagination. But he was very disappointed from the very beginning since meeting Oswald, as he was very much the opposite to his entire imagination. Although he gets to witness an adventure, he wouldn't really get to know much about that. What change might have been brought to his thoughts? But we as readers do imagine his awestruck expression by the revelation of the climax. Max. Max was a man with a slender figure, not very tall. His features had suggested that he was slightly crafty and cunning, like that of a fox. He did not seem very dangerous, other than the fact that he was holding a gun. He had come stealthily into Oswald's room and wanted to report on the missiles. But Max was also slightly gullible. He easily fell into the trap set by Oswald. This situation just proved that he was not much aware of Oswald as a secret agent who was successful in his jobs. His gullibility probably cost him his life, though. He was overconfident just because he had a gun pointed at Oswald and Fowler. Max lacked presence of mind. He was so focused on pointing the gun at both the men that he did not look down for a second to see whether there was a balcony below the window or not. He just did not think of his entry route much. He just blindly believed Oswald. Max proved that he could be easily fooled and that he seemed cunning, but which he was not at all. This did not make him a very good secret agent. The blogger's opinion. Do you think as a writer, Fowler should have had an early perception of any kinds of secret agent? What is your idea of the physical properties of an agent? What, according to you, makes a man successful? Intelligence or smartness? Think about it and comment in the comment section below. Thank you.